of round number 4. Let's check a Harold Letterman scorecard.
Okay, Bob, 2 rounds to 1. 29-28, Carlos El Indio Quintana. Bob, he won the first 2 rounds using that left hand over the top, giving Paul Williams angles, just moving, going side to side, and landed some tremendous right hooks as well. But in round 3, Paul Williams picked up the pace and just outfought this guy. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Number 1, people are going to ask about the beard of Paul Williams. The rule is this: if that beard either can cushion the punch or can scratch the other guy, it's illegal. But Quintana would have to object, and the commission would have to make him shave. The second thing is, you got to say something about the weight. A guy gaining 17 pounds. I mean, Paul Williams is a super middleweight. Anyway, 2-1, Quintana.
And jabs getting untracked for Paul Williams. Harold spoke of the beard, the literal beard. His figurative beard has been very good. He stood 12 rounds with Antonio Margarito. But I don't know that Margarito landed as many clean, flush punches at the end of the punch, where it's really snapping that punch off in 12 rounds, as Quintana's here landed in 4.
And Quintana had a good start to this 4th round. He landed some pretty good shots early.
You have to look at the conditioning Quintana, because he's the kind of guy that gets tired down the road, and he has to watch out, especially for the late rounds, because Paul Williams still looks a little bit fresh.
It's interesting just glancing at the CompuBox numbers as Williams rips off a jab. Williams at 19% with his jabs. Quintana at 30% so far in the fight.
Williams' right eye seems to be closing a little bit.
Quintana sticks and moves away.
Quintana's doing a good thing about giving different angles to Paul, because he's making it difficult for Paul Williams to hit him.
Williams can't set his feet to punch.
Gets a shot in, gets away. He moved and he threw a punch and he landed. Under 40 seconds to go in the round. 30 seconds to go in the round. Quintana's landed some pretty good shots.
Paul Williams really has to be concerned about Quintana's left hand, because that's his money punch, and it's always coming over the top.
There's the end of round number 4. Carlos Quintana's had a very good job of landing some left hands against Paul Williams. We're going to take a look at some of the left hands he's been able to score against Williams.
And here's the left hand. It looks like Paul's not even looking at the punch and concerned about it. He's more concerned about what he wants to do. But he better be concerned about it, because you keep on tapping on that rock, and all of a sudden, it's going to break.
We're winning this fight. Okay, from now on, we're going to kill him. Yeah, the hands on the bottom, get there. Get close. Even hold him. And he can't hit you. Get to him.
We mentioned the jab. 25 of 89 for Quintana through the first 4 rounds. 28% to the 18% for Williams.
You know who looks even better than Carlos Quintana right now? I mean, the story of this fight is basically Carlos Quintana punches Paul Williams in the face, but Miguel Cotto is looking very good right now. And I think some of Paul Williams' deficiencies, which are not superficial, it's not like you can just see him against an average guy and notice them quickly, but against a guy of Quintana's caliber you can, are a result of his lack of experience on an advanced amateur level. A guy like Miguel Cotto was the highest pedigree in his amateur career, and Paul Williams was not. And that's being exposed a bit here by Carlos Quintana.
25 amateur bouts for Paul Williams. Shoots the left hand over the top, misses with the right hook. Quintana able to avoid danger and then kind of reset. Well, you know, he's had a plan, Quintana, and Lennox seems to be following it very well. He seems very relaxed in there.
Yeah, he's relaxed. That's because he's not really getting hurt or hit. And he's in a good survival mode, but he's able to get across some good left hands.
See, what's been most impressive to me about Quintana so far tonight has been when Williams makes the conscious decision, I'm going to start smoking now, I'm going to start really putting pressure on him and moving my hands. Quintana doesn't panic. He remains calm, continues to box, weathers the storm, and then goes back on the offensive.
Quintana hooks to the body. Williams tries to answer. That one was on the hip by Quintana.
Get off his head, Paul. Get off his head, Paul.
Williams holding behind the head. He's cautioned for that.
Stop. Right.
Slow left from
Step away. Step
Quintana. Williams did not make him pay for it.
Well, like I said, he's slowing down in this fight, and as the rounds go on, he will slow down, because I've noticed in the fight against Cotto, he was, you know, his shape wasn't in good shape. But he is getting across with that left hand quite easily, and it is slowing down.
Williams not able to make him pay.
All right, stop, both of you. Stop.
And the idea, what I said to introduce this fight off the top, that Paul Williams potentially poses the biggest threat to Mayweather, looks ridiculous at this moment.
Right now, Quintana is posing a threat to Paul Williams. Five in the books, scheduled for 12.
That was beautiful. Hey, you're fighting very pretty, very beautiful. How you feeling? He can't even see you. Yeah, you're getting away from him. You're going side to side. You got him going.
You can't let him do that, okay? You got to take his comfort zone away from him. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to what I'm saying, Paul. You're not listening. You got to take his comfort zone away. And how you going to do that? You're going to keep him at the end of your jab. You're going to do feints, and you're going to keep pressure on him. You got to pressure him now.
Side to side.
Lennox, the corner, George Peterson, the trainer, Paul Williams, said you've got to use your jab. So far in the fight, he's 25 of 159 with the jab. That's 15%. He has not been effective with his jab at all. We're talking about Paul Williams.
Yeah, Paul Williams needs to throw triple jabs, double jabs, and, you know, apply the pressure.
No, he just threw two jabs followed by a straight left, and they all hit air.
But he's got to keep the pressure on Quintana, because right now Quintana looks like he's becoming more tired as the fight progresses.
Well, he sticks the left hand in and moves away, does Quintana. Left hand by Williams. Found the mark.
Here's where Paul Williams' lack of real hard punching, really sitting down on his punches, as they say, and putting something into his shots could haunt him, because he's behind in this fight, and pretty soon it's going to get to, although he's fighting better this round, it could get to the point where he needs something dramatic to win. He's not throwing the kind of punches that have kind of fight-changing power behind them so far.
Quintana dips away, shoots a left hand, and then ties him up.
And Paul Williams, he's not giving himself the kind of punching room he needs, having such long arms. He needs to keep Quintana at the end of his punches, especially with that jab, so he can start throwing some more punches to connect.
You saw when he did that earlier in this round, Lennox, when he had Quintana in the corner, he landed to great effect with a straight left hand.
And then there's Quintana with a left hand. Lennox, but isn't some of that have to do with what Quintana is doing as far as his movement?
His movement is definitely throwing him off, because he's not used to his movement. And this is a style fight, because the different styles are really what's making this fight unusual, especially for Paul. Paul's not used to this style, hasn't seen this style for a while, and he's used to guys coming after him. Now he has to go after a mover, and he's forgetting about throwing some jabs. Plus, he's getting hit.
You know, right hook and a left.
It may sound funny because Williams is so much taller, but from the outside, Quintana's timing Williams to great effect. And when they're on the inside, in fact, is where Williams is having some success with short hooks and uppercuts. Maybe, you know, counterintuitively, Williams should try to move inside, stay there, and fight with Quintana on the inside a little bit.
But when he's moving inside, he's getting caught with that left hand. And that's what I'm concerned about when it comes to Quintana.
Seems to me, though, that Lennox, he's being timed from the outside cleanly and crisply from Quintana, by Quintana.
By Williams.
There he found the range on the left hand, as you pointed out earlier, Lennox. He found the range again from the outside.
He's got to continue doing that and triple and double it.
End of round 6 for Quintana and Williams. Halfway through the scheduled 12-rounder. On February the 23rd, HBO Sports presents a very special night of box programming. On the East Coast, viewers will see the premiere of Joe Louis, America's Hero Betrayed, followed by a heavyweight unification fight between Vladimir Klitschko and Sultan Ibragimov. On the West Coast, viewers will see our live boxing, followed by our Joe Louis film. You do not want to miss the Joe Louis film. It is spectacular.
That's it, you know, if you get to the throat, don't just stand there. Stay low, bob and weave, and get inside, and hold him if you have to.
Keep him at the end of that jab. Keep pressure on them. Take what he give you.
7.
We start round number 7. Let's check in with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Okay, Bob. You know, after 4 rounds, I had this fight 3 rounds to 1 for Quintana. He was winning this fight going away. But in rounds 5 and 6, Paul Williams evened it up. I have it 57-57, 3 rounds apiece. Williams coming on. I mean, he's jabbing well with the right hand, landed a straight left, and Quintana's just not landing the clean, hard shots that he landed in the first 4 rounds, which Williams probably lost 3 of. Just like you saw right there. Anyway, 3-3, 57-57, all even.
All right, Harold, I gave round 5 to Quintana, actually.
I mean, Harold's right. Paul Williams is coming on. Whether he's won as many rounds as Quintana is debatable, but he's certainly doing better in the last couple rounds than he was early in the fight.
Lennox, we talked about the new training regime for Quintana. He added weights and different nutrition. He looked like he might be tiring. In the last round, according to CompuBox, it was the fewest punches he's thrown in the fight, 40, and the fewest connects, 11.
Well, he could have been taking a round off. We're going to tell him this round, but to me, he looks like he's getting tired and tiring in this fight.
And coinciding with that is Paul Williams catching him on the end of those straight left hands from time to time.
Sluggish left hand from Quintana.
Stop. Break.
A little blood from the nose of Williams.
The other thing is, even if Paul Williams has won as many rounds as Quintana, those rounds were much closer than the decisive rounds that Quintana has won, in which Quintana's really dished out punishment to Paul Williams.
That may have taken some out of Quintana because, you know, right now he's not throwing as many punches as he did before.
So much for my maybe Williams needs to stay inside theory. Got hammered with an uppercut.
Quintana, suéltalo.
Hook to the body from Williams, doubled it up.
You see Williams, for a tall, lanky fighter who should be able to establish the range better from long distance with the jab, he is comfortable on the inside.
And that's where it's dangerous for him being a tall fighter because, you know, those shorter guys with the shorter arms gets the punches across a lot quicker.
Right. What we just saw there, a lazy left from Quintana, and then a right followed up by Williams. Now Quintana shoots a left hand. Williams comes back with a right. Good jab by Williams.
Terrific action.
Lazy left from Quintana. Doesn't have the same snap it had earlier. Williams responds.